Hey, it's Meredith Myers with StandUpLibrarian.com, and I am here with the amazing Christopher Rice, as you know, and is an amazing author. But we're here at this Library Park event, a fundraising event, and this is the Library Park behind us, and you're one of the board of directors.
Yes, what we're doing right now, or what we're finishing, is a capital campaign. So we haven't moved into the foundational kind of programming area, which is next, but we're literally raising the money to build the library.
And why did you want to get involved?
Well, I love libraries, and as an author, I do a lot of fabulous events in libraries. A lot of times, and this is more of a statement on the publishing market than it is about anything else, but the best and most well-organized literary events to promote a book were inside of a library. They had a very loyal following that they were able to marshal regardless of who the author was. And one of the best events I ever did was in Kansas City at their library. And so I had a connection that was there, but I also listened to their pitch, you know, and what they said to me that got me was that when the recession hit in 2008, library usage nationwide went up by about 30%. And that was because more people in America than we realized were relying on work-issued computers. Okay, and so when they lost their jobs, they lost their computers, and they lost their internet access. And I don't even want to imagine what it's like to look for a new job without internet access. So they came flooding into the computer centers of libraries in their communities because that was the only place where they were guaranteed information about anything. It's the only place where they were given access to the World Wide Web without somebody trying to charge them $1 every minute. So that was really what I think we need a library. You know, I've heard it called a book museum, I've heard it called West Hollywood's biggest Kindle, but the reality is that it's all that and more. A library is about providing unrestricted, equal access to information to all members of a community, regardless of their socioeconomic status.
And now what do you think is going to set this library apart from other libraries that maybe you've been in? Because I know it's got a special collection that's specific to just West Hollywood.
It does. It has the only OpenStack LGBT collection in the Los Angeles County Library System. And what that means is that you don't have to ask a librarian to go fetch these supposedly controversial items for you.
Although this librarian would be happy to get it for anybody.
Of course, as well as most people would, you know. But sometimes when you have people, particularly young people who are coming to West Hollywood from other communities where they're subjected to prejudice and people are hostile towards them, they're especially sensitive about asking for gay material. So they won't have to do that at this library. I think that's very Many years ago, I spoke to a convention of gay and lesbian librarians with a writer named Dorothy Allison, who many of you may know is the woman who wrote Bastard Out of Carolina. And I would love to have stolen this story from her whole cloth, but these were her words. She talked about that young gay kid living in a hostile, isolated community, who knew they were different, who knew they couldn't fit in, and was desperate for some kind of connection to a world outside of their limited, prejudiced one. Where was that kid going to go? Were they going to go to their computer at home where their internet access was probably being monitored by intolerant parents who had put filters on anything that said gay? Were they going to go to the bookstore where somebody would eventually find them in the racks reading Ruby Fruit Jungle and shake a finger at them or make them buy it? You know, they were going to the library, okay? They were going to the library. It was a safe space where they could access all of that information without fear of discrimination or fear of just being told to spend money they didn't have. So how does that apply to West Hollywood? Well, let's think of the kid from Kern County, which there are lovely people in Kern County, but it voted overwhelmingly yes on Proposition 8. So let's think of the gay kid who's putting together money for bus fare, or who's getting his girlfriend to drive him to West Hollywood, because he's always heard about West Hollywood, and that's where he's going to find people who are like him, not just in a chat room. Where do we want him to land? Do we want him to land on the steps of a bar he's not old enough to get into? Or do we want him to land at the only library in the LA County system that's going to have an OpenStack LGBT collection? I think it's also about the community that's going to support it. This is a very vibrant, very central part of Los Angeles that doesn't really have a public square. We have a lot of very popular restaurants and nightclubs. We have the Sunset Strip, again, restaurants and nightclubs. But a public space that anyone can enter, that anyone can stay in for as long as possible, we don't have, and we will now with the library.
What I'm trying to do with StandUpLibrarian.com is educating while entertaining people about libraries, and I think that's what's great about the Library Park, is it's a place for education, it's a place for knowledge, but it's going to be a place that people can come and have a good time. There's a theater in there. There's just it's the future of libraries.
It really is. It really is very important. It's important for a lot of reasons, and it's about West Hollywood making good on a promise
So anyway, one last question for the author, Christopher Rice. You working on a new book?
Oh, I am days away from finishing a book I've been working on for 2 years. I literally, I've had enough tea to kill a small animal. That's how caffeinated I am. But yes, it's my first supernatural book.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anything else you can tell us about? Do you have a
Nope.
title yet
Not
or
yet.
anything?
The rest is top secret.
I guess we're going to have to wait to check out that book at the new library park when it opens this September. I'm Meredith Myers with Christopher Rice, fundraising for the new library park in West Hollywood. Thank you very much. StandUpLibrarian.com. We're with Luann Greenwald, and she is the campaign manager for the new library park in West Hollywood. So Luann, how's the fundraising coming?
It's going great. We've raised $6.6 million to date, and our goal is $10 million, and we want to raise that by the end of the year.
Okay, and what are you doing to help generate this money?
Well, we're reaching out to everybody, to individuals, corporations, foundations. The great thing about this project is there are opportunities to participate from $150 to name a bookshelf to $75,000 to name a meeting room, the whole range. So it's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get your name on a civic landmark in West Hollywood.
And what can people do if they're interested in donating? Where should they go? Is there a website or?
There's a website. It's www.WeHoLibraryFund.org, and there's a button that says donate. You just click on that, fill in your information. If you need information, you can also call the office 323-469-1871.
And the opening date of the library?
We're planning our grand opening event for Saturday, September 24th. There will be more information about it on the website, and it will be open to the public by October.